Hello, my name is Dali. Welcome to Dalitalks TV. And today I have a special guest, Keisha, a youth empowerment coach, whom I
Yes.
met in a networking meeting with through the Small Business Administration. So a little bit about Keisha. Uh, Her and I joined this program called IYT. It's Your Time, as we were creating our businesses.
Yes.
And we networked. And one thing that really drew me to wanting to get to know her a little more was her cause. So as you all know, I'm very passionate about teaching kids to stand tall, have pride in themselves and confidence. And when I met her, she said she was a youth empowerment coach. I'm like, ooh, tell me more. Tell me more. So Keisha,
Yes.
tell
Yes.
us more.
Yes. Well, first, I would like to thank you, Dolly, for having me on to be able to get, this powerful message out to our families, kids, parents. So, like Dolly said, I am your youth empowerment coach. And what that means is I'm here to assist in the healthy development of our young girls. But the tools that I encourage our girls to practice is not only for girls. I mean, they can be used for men, women, like you said, just to get the message out there. This is as a whole. So it's not only for girls, but that's just what I happen to, where my niche is and where my passion is.
Right. And you work with a specific age group, right?
Well, I've done workshops in the past with all the way from 5 to 14 year olds so far.
That's great. And I have had the privilege of going to some of your workshops. And one thing that I love about your workshops is that the parents are always included. And
Yes.
it's kind of a way of pulling that mom and daughter out of the house and having their own time together, because most of the times we don't do that. We have the intention, but
Mhm.
we're so busy with other stuff, or like everybody will just go, mom, dad, and the rest of the kids go together. But there's something very special about the teaching of empowerment of them both.
Yes, yes. We're just as moms, we, like you said, I mean, things, we have a lot on our plate, but I love to call it a date with your daughter,
Mm.
so to be intentional, to make the time to be able to come out with her, to be able to learn new skills, or not even learn skills, but to remind ourselves that we're the first person that our child sees as to what a woman looks like, not only physically but mentally and emotionally. So I think the reason that I bring moms in the mix is because we need to be able to connect and remind ourselves that we have to practice these skills also. That's one of the reasons I got started, is because one day I was staring at my daughter stare at herself in the mirror, and as I was staring, I decided to ask her, like, what do you see when you look in there? And she turned and she pointed to me. And at that point, I was not in the best place that I can be, and I wasn't proud of the woman that she was pointing at. So that's when I decided to make it my mission, not only for myself, not even only for them, but to plant the seeds of encouragement into our girls, worldwide. That's my mission.
Yeah, I can completely relate to that, because and my daughters are 10 and soon to be 12.
Mhm.
And they also, they compliment me. And I've always struggled with my weight, and I've
Mhm.
struggled with um, just certain things that I think, like, oh, I'm not like, super
Yeah, you're comparing,
feminine with the makeup all the time and the pretty dresses and stuff like that. So it's amazing and it's beautiful when they just turn around and they're like, you're beautiful, mommy. And I used
Yes.
to think, oh, thanks, but I don't believe it. Now I'm like, no, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Actually, yeah, I am beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm
And I
gonna.
think sometimes it takes practice. That's why I always tell people it takes practice to be intentional, to wake up every day, to practice the skills, to be able to grow as a person and grow in yourself, and to be okay with those compliments. Because a lot of times I know, like, I'll hear somebody say, one lady one time was like, "Your name is Keisha? I love that name." And I was like, "Girl, ain't nothing special about the name Keisha." But she was really like going in, and I was like, And so as I was walking out, I told her thank you, and I was walking out. I'm like, just accept it, you know. Maybe she hasn't heard that name before, and it was, you know, just to be able to accept the compliment for what it
Right.
is. I mean, that takes a lot of work because we make excuses for it. We don't feel like it's important. We don't feel like it's a big deal. But you know, for someone to, you never know. That may be the first time she heard that name, like I said. So
Right.
so just to be able to accept that compliment and be okay with that, then that takes skill.
Oh
You
yeah. And then you're also emulating that for them. Because if you don't know how to take a compliment, that's
know?
all weird, then how do you expect them to feel confident
Yeah.
and know that it's okay to accept the
Mhm.
compliment? Because a
Yes.
lot of us are raised to be nice and to be
Mhm.
humbled, but they forget they confuse being humble with learning how to reject the compliment,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
believe that they're really not what people are telling them that they are,
Yeah.
or at
Yeah.
least the good parts, because we're so
Yeah.
quick
Oh
to,
yeah. The bad
yeah,
parts, you know,
uh-huh,
even
yeah,
then you want to go off on somebody, you want to, you know, but it's just funny how that you will let that bother you and let it ruin your day or whatever the case. But you will reject a compliment. Like that's intense, you know?
right, yeah, yeah. And I hear that a lot from amazing people. For
Hmm.
example, I was watching Jamie Foxx interview Gabrielle Union. I'm a huge
Hmm.
fan.
Yes.
I've always that woman is amazing. She's
Yes.
gorgeous, and
Mhm.
I heard her saying that she said, she would go through all these comments on social media, and they would say, "Oh, you're amazing. You're such a, you're wonderful, so talented." And then she's looking for that negative comment because she
Mm.
felt and she felt like, I know that it's out there, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
needed somebody to validate what she thought of herself. And I
Mhm.
thought, oh my gosh, she
Yeah.
thought that about herself.
Yeah.
How? What?
Yeah,
You know?
and that's crazy. We're outside looking in. Like you said, she's so talented, so
Hmm.
beautiful. And she had another interview with Jada Pinkett Smith, and um, she was saying that she would knock down, like she would go for a role,
Mm.
and a beautiful woman would walk in, and she would be so intimidated by it that she would start talking mess about the other women. And
Yeah.
her life coach actually said, what do you get out of doing that? And she had to take a step back, like, wait, yeah, you know, like why am I doing this? So that goes into bullying.
Mhm.
That's self-bullying, and that's bullying others, you know. So that's very important that we learn those skills from as young as we can get it, so
Mhm.
that we can grow up to have a healthy vision of ourselves and a healthy vision of others, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, can you walk us through the different phases, or how you broke up your program so that
Yeah.
people are aware? Yeah.
Okay, so for me, what's unique about me and my programs is one of them. I'm the founder of a program called Abundantly Authentic, and that's a nonprofit organization that encourages girls to practice having a positive self-esteem. And how I came up with that is that I was going through what I was going through to become a healthy person. I made the mental decision to do what I need to do to become the person that I wanted to see after, you know, my daughter pointed at me and I was not proud of that. So as I started growing and developing, then I started implementing that with them and we started working on it together. So so what I do is there's 5 keys to being an abundantly authentic girl, or you know, to be a healthy person overall, the foundation of it. And the first key is called beautiful, and what that is looking in on the inside and seeing that we all have gifts inside of us that we're supposed to be sharing with the world. And what always trips me out, and how I know if someone is struggling with certain things, is I'll ask the girl like, what do you like about yourself? What's unique about you? And I'll have many girls that do not have an answer to that, you know, or I'll tell them with the younger girls, I will do an icebreaker. And what they do is they have to go and give someone else a compliment. And I remember specifically one little girl could not give a compliment.
Oh
She could
wow.
not, you know, and that spoke volumes to me. Like, this is how this is how it is. It just led me to know that it takes skills, and it's something that we have to practice. So I remember telling her, and I always tell the girls is, to intentionally, and don't give false,
False
like,
compliments.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, oh, I like your shoes. I like this. If you see somebody that has the lipstick look beautiful on her, I know I make it a point to, girl, your lipstick looks good today, or your nail polish. But if I see something that attracts me to that person, especially a woman, I will give her a compliment, because that can make or break her day. You never know what kind of day she was having, but just to hear that, I know I'm learning to accept that now. And I love getting compliments. But to be able to not be able to give a compliment, that speaks volumes to me.
Right.
So beautiful just goes into, what gifts do you have, that you're supposed to be sharing with the world? And when you have a gift, that takes practice. I call it unwrapping your gift. So say there's a person who is into art. My daughter, she loves to draw, and I tell her, you have to practice. You have to practice, get good at it, and use different colored pencils, markers, whatever you need to do to practice those skills. So that's beautiful. And then the next step is ooh la la. And what ooh la la, I call it that because when I always tell the girls, when you want someone to look at you, you want them to say, ooh la la, like, look at that girl. So that's why I call it that. And that's taking care of your outside being. That's taking care of, I call it your shell. And different ways to do that is, as simple, it sounds simple to us, but girls don't know unless you tell them, taking showers on a day, baths or showers on a daily basis. Moisturizing your skin, trying a new hairstyle. I knew one little girl who came to school one day and she had jeans on. She came into our program. I worked at an after school program, and her jeans was ripped, but it looked like she bought it from the store. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wait, what? Did you change your pants? And she was like, no, I did that. And I was like, well, first, you want to talk to your parents. But dang, girl, you look like that's like a fashion. So she was like, really, just me telling her that, it kind of opened her mind a little bit. So
Oh wow.
just taking care of your shell, taking care of
Mm-hmm.
your body, because I believe that if you look good, you feel good, you know?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful, ooh la la. And then the third one is journey. And what that is, I break it up into two parts. And that's one, exercising your body. And it's not only to want to lose weight, but it's mental. Like, I wake up, I exercise at least 5 days out of the week. And it's not because I'm trying to, if I lose a couple pounds, woo woo for me, but it's mental too. That's how I start my day. And that kind of sets the tone for me. And the other part is wanting to be able to travel. I believe, like, a lot of us will get stuck into, oh, I'm from San Bernardino, I've never been anywhere else. Like, I always tell people, break it down into little parts. What other cities can you visit? What are landmarks in your city? What other states nearby can you drive to? One thing for us, because that was my mentality. Like, I don't have the money to travel. But I started researching, and I was like, you know what? I've never been to Northern California. Let me go ahead and drive with the kids. And I mapped it out and everything, and we went on a trip to San Francisco. So now that's our thing, to start kind of opening your mind to not be stuck where you're at, but just kind of, going outside of your comfort zone and visiting other places.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's journey. And then it goes into nourish. And what nourish is taking care of yourself and being mindful with the things that you put inside of your body. And that's, um, to me, I'm not I have to follow this certain meal plan. And that's why I exercise so much, is because I do like to eat what I want to eat. I have to manage this chunkiness. I always so,
Yes, we all have to do that.
yeah. So, I mean, everything can be done in moderation. And I remember one workshop I did where I brought out, for the Nourish workshop, I brought out multiple, like, salad items. but I brought out different types of lettuce. I brought out different type of fruits, veggies, all different type of things. And one of the girls was like, her mom was like, "You're eating salad?" And she was like, "This is really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, because you have more option and you can kind of see, you know, you're not stuck to, oh, iceberg lettuce, a tomato, and some ranch, you know. There's
Okay.
other things you can put in there, raisins, sunflower seeds, bacon bits. You know, there's ways that you can be creative with your salad making. So that was just a little activity to kind of get them outside of their comfort zone with that. And then the last but not least is invest, and that's a really big one because I break it down to them and I tell them investing in yourself should be a priority, and then that'll allow you to be able to invest in others. You know, so how I break that down is I tell them, okay, could you please name some people that you're going to be more intentional about spending more time with. um, Also, if you get allowance, you know, go ahead and research who you would like to donate some of your money to, or research who you would like to donate your time to, and make it a worthy cause. Make it somewhere. I know I'm big on like foster kids, and that's something that I'm kind of breaking into is that foster care. So anytime I see something going on with that, I would like to volunteer. I seek the knowledge to be able to position myself to help out as much as I can there. My daughter, she wants to volunteer at an animal shelter, so we would have to get into that to research to see what we can do. Because I believe that once you're able to take care of yourself, you're investing in yourself. That's the only way that you can happily, gratefully, and want to invest in others. So those are the 5 keys to, you know, to the foundation of being a healthy person, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. And I was very impressed with the way that you do the workshops. If you who are watching you who are in the Inland Empire, or even from San Francisco, San Diego, or LA area, if you had the chance to come to one of her workshops, I mean, you will not regret it because they're
Thank
beautiful.
you, Dolly. Thank
You
you.
always walk away with a little swag bag.
Yes.
Yeah. And it makes the kids feel so red carpet. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
it's
Thank
really
you.
lovely, and it's very engaging. Not just mom and
Hmm.
daughter, but the other
Yes.
children and their other parents.
Yes.
And
Yes.
my kids, I was very surprised because I thought they're gonna think this is so nerdy. Like,
Yes, especially that age, you know.
oh yeah, because they're tweens and start being
Yes.
hypercritical. Like, oh my gosh, I was scared. Will it be up to their standards? It's amazing how, as a parent, you care so much about will they,
Yes. Yes.
right? And
I
both
just
of them,
remember them specifically in the journey workshop. I can't remember which daughter, but she was really into planning. I had them
Nadia.
planning her trip,
Yes.
and I think it's just exposing them to you can't just take a trip like that. There is and some people do it. They're
Uh-huh.
free spirits. That's all good and dandy. But for me, I like to plan. So there's some intentionality behind that. So when I seen her planning, I was like, dang.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was like the weather, what it's
Yeah.
gonna be like
Just,
everything. I was
yeah.
like, that is
You're
awesome.
like, mommy, let me borrow your phone. What for? I need to look at Google at the map.
Everything, what kind of food, everything. So
Yes.
it was really good to see them get into that, and that's I think we don't give them that time to be able to do that, and that's why I make it very interactive in that way.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Maybe she's gotten it because we have traveled. That's the one thing that I'm glad that we've done with them. They've
Mm-hmm.
been traveling since they were itty bitty babies. More because we lived across the other, in the East Coast,
Uh-huh.
and we had to, of course, travel that way to come here to California and visit family.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the market crashed
Mm-hmm.
and there was not much to do because either lack of funds or whatever, because we did
Mm-hmm.
feel the economic
Yeah.
blow. I
Yeah.
remember, like, you know what, let's just get in the car and go explore
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah.
And I remember we found this gorgeous little piece of paradise in Hartford County, Maryland, a
Mhm.
waterfall.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful. Like, gosh, I can't believe I've lived here all these years and I didn't know about this because,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
think of a trip and you think, oh, I gotta go all the way to, I don't know,
Yeah.
New York
Yeah.
or Hawaii. I'm like, wait a minute, there's so much around here.
Around here, yeah, because when I started researching California, I was like, there's so much for me to do, so much for us to do out here. So that's how we've been navigating through.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that I really adopted, I don't know how this came about, but for every non-major birthday,
Mm-hmm.
what they get instead of a birthday party is an experience. So usually it's a little trip
Yeah,
somewhere
that's
nearby or,
awesome.
yeah, so it's
I
helped.
decided to do that for Christmas
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going out of my way, giving you the gifts that you want, and you play with them for like a week, and I'm upset. I'm upset at this point. You hassled me,
Right.
and we're like, you know what? Let's take a family trip, and that'll be, they'll get a couple things, but I won't go. I'll spend more of my time planning that than anything else, because the experience, like you said, is more. They talk about the trips that we've been taking, more than anything. So
Right. And I think what's beautiful about every aspect of your 5 classes is that, like, for beautiful, you make them realize that it's okay for them to look at themselves as beautiful human beings, not
yeah.
just as I'm Dali and that's it.
Hmm.
There's something, everybody
Yeah.
has a beautiful feature about themselves,
Yes.
and it's okay to say it out loud, and it's
Mhm.
okay to accept the compliment. And then for
Yes.
journey and exercise, I really like that one because a lot of
Mhm.
times kids are like, ugh,
Yeah.
workout. Like, no. But when it's with a group and then with your mom,
Mhm.
it became a little competitive with
Yeah.
us. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, look, I can stretch further, or I can do more push-ups
Yeah.
than you, mommy. So it was fun. And Nourish, we didn't get to go to that one, but I did see what you put out there. Like, yeah, that was really, really nice. And the fact that you did teach them, like, oh yeah, you can put nuts in your salad, or
Yeah. Yeah.
it's okay. It's just
Creative,
broadening that mindset. And it's also, you know, when it's in a group, it's so powerful with
Mhm.
their peers.
Yes. Yes.
It's not shameful. It's
Yeah.
okay. And it's accepting, and everybody understands what's going on. And
Hmm.
it's easier to at least give it a try.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then investing in yourself. I love that you include money because not
Hmm.
too many people teach kids about money, and they should. I know
Yes.
I have since they've been really tiny. I'm like 70% of whatever you get goes in savings.
Yes.
30% we'll break it up into,
Hmm.
spending, donations, and whatever. So yeah, and then the importance of just giving part of themselves as
Yeah.
volunteer
Yeah.
time, because all of these, what I love is each and every one of them teaches them self-confidence to
Yes.
empower themselves, which is your main goal.
Yeah. And why
And
is is near and dear to me, because I'm living this truth, as I am living through it, I'm learning just like anybody else. And that's what I always tell the daughters, especially the younger ones. As moms, we have feelings too. We get upset, we're not happy sometimes, we're, sad at times. We're happy, we're excited. We have emotions too, and I think a lot of times they see it as, oh, she's an adult. She doesn't know what I'm going through, or whatever the case may be.
right,
But just to let them know that you're a human being also. You go through what you go through. You struggle with what you struggle through at times. And like I said, it's a practice. This is a daily practice to practice these skills so that, we can live the healthy versions of ourselves.
that's right. So tell us, where can viewers reach out to you?
Yes, yes, yes. So I have a blog, and it's at Abundantly Authentic. I don't, should I spell
That's
that? Spell
.com. No,
that
I'll make sure I put the links
out.
below, but that's a .com, right?
Yes, abundantlyauthentic.com. And the website I just changed it up a bit, and I'm super excited about that. I haven't been blogging as much, but I do plan on getting more into it. So please check that out. That's more of just my personal experiences that, that I'm going through. And it gives you like some of the workshop what we did and all that stuff, and gives advice to the moms. And then on Instagram, that's where you'll catch me like 99% of the time. That's my go-to place, and that's at Abundantly Authentic. And then I also on Facebook too is Abundantly Authentic.
Okay. And yeah, when you do go to abundantlyauthentic.com,
Mhm.
sign up for her newsletter, because she
Yes,
does
yes,
send
yes,
out these
please.
really nice messages. And before she created the electronic version of the newsletter, she would actually mail
Yes.
newsletter. And there was a beauty about that, that I
Yes, that's how I
because of
felt too, just to, because a lot of times I won't open emails,
right,
and the way I send out the emails is something really quick. I don't want to just remind me of something, or inspire me, but I try to just make it really short or give you tips and tools that you can do with your daughter, but nothing long or lengthy. So yes, please sign up for those. I think it'll be a blessing.
right. And you're not telling them about the fact that you're an author.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
See,
something.
that's what friends are
Yes,
for.
thank
I'm here to
you.
remind
I
you.
yes, this is so. See how we work. So yes, I am an author. I'm a children's book author, and the name of my book is called Blueprint to Self-Esteem, Young Girl Edition, and it has all the keys and the foundation set up. And that book is geared toward for girls. I call it Young Girl Edition, 5 to 9 years old, and I am super, super duper excited. I just finished my manuscript for Middle Girl Edition, so that will be coming out soon, and that'll be
Ooh.
journal form for my middle girls, which are 10 to 14 years old. So please, please, please follow me on Instagram. Check out the website, because then you'll be updated on that stuff. And yeah, excited about that.
Yeah, well, it's great to know that you're done with your manuscript. I'm really looking forward to it. And
Yes, yes, yes.
so I have her book, and it's super cute, and it's perfect for that age group, because
Yes.
it's not too long, and it has
Mhm.
pictures, and you can just have those conversations with your child
Yes.
and start that positive thinking about themselves.
Yes.
Keisha,
Yes.
thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge and experiences
You're
with us.
welcome. Thank you for having me on, Dolly.
Yeah, anytime. We're gonna have to do a follow-up after your book launch,
Yes.
your second book
Yes, yes,
launch.
yes.
Yeah. And so Keisha will be posting on her website about any upcoming events that she'll be hosting with her workshops when they come back up again. But
Yes.
yeah, definitely check out her blog and check her out on Instagram. She's very active on there. And Keisha, thank you so much for your time. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Bye.
Bye.